The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Miss Davis, the history teacher, because she's like another mom to me. She tells me straight up. I can tell her anything. I can talk to her about anything, and she's just my favorite teacher.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitz, he ain't a teacher. I really don't know what he is. I think he's a counselor or something, but it'd be Scope. Mr. Scope, yeah, man, he helped me out and saved me a couple times in some situations.
Because
the Fitzgerald that impacted me the most here was, I'm gonna have to say Miss Mulligan, because she helped me a lot with my confidence and acting.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is not a teacher, it is a coach, and it is McKay, because he's a pretty cool guy.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald the most is definitely going to be Mrs. Bocci. It's thanks to her that I passed all my classes. She was always on top of me, make sure I get everything done, so for sure her.
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Scope. During the wrestling season, he encouraged me a lot, and during the off season, he also encouraged me.
The teacher that impacted my life most at Fitzgerald is Miss Loretta, because she encouraged me and she had patience with me when, rough times.
I wouldn't say a teacher impacted my life the most. I would say a counselor impacted my life the most, which is Mr. Holmes. He really helped me through a lot of tough times, and he was always there for me, so yeah.
The teacher who impacted myself the most in Fitzgerald is Miss Smith, because she has been in my life since sophomore year, so she's always been there for me when I needed something or something else,
the teacher who impacted my life most has to be Mr. Adam Busitel, because he made life so much more enjoyable with band. I've been with him since I was in 6th grade, and everything has just been wonderful. He has motivated me and inspired me for a lot of things in my life, and I'm very happy for it.
The teacher that impacted my life is Miss Cafania. Without her, I wouldn't even be graduating right now, and she been a second mom to me.
I would say it was like a teacher. I would probably a sister Bristol, Miss Grizzle. Yeah. Shout out Miss Grizzle.
The teacher that impacted my life the most in Fitzgerald is Miss Smith.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is honestly Mr. Busitel. I would say this because truly he gave my life meaning and gave me something to focus my time on.
The teacher that impacted me the most had to be Miss Rubel. She was a good teacher, and she made learning math fun, and that's hard to do.
The teacher that impacted me the most is Miss Mulligan, because she was so full of energy, and I liked how she acted and stuff, so yeah.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Cafania, because whenever I need her and need help with anything, she's right there, and she will always ask me if I'm okay when I need it.
My most impactful teacher was definitely Miss Sonnenfeld, because she pushed me to be outside of my circle, be myself more.
Because Mr. Holm, he helped me a lot through the year, and he got me motivated for graduating and fixing my grades.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald would be Mr. Nelson, because he motivates me to do better.
The teacher that impacted myself at Fitzgerald High School was Miss Smith, because we did a lot of cool videos in her class. Her class was really fun.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitz is probably Mrs. Sonnenfeld, because she kind of taught me how to take care of myself and the importance of it, and she's just a wonderful person altogether.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Rubel, because she's helped me a lot in my math problems, because in math I'm illiterate, so yes.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School was Miss K. She was really nice. She helped me out a lot, and she made me be interested in economics.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald High School was Miss Mulligan, because she was able to bring a new character I didn't see in myself out, and she helped me get through a lot in high school.
The teacher that impacted my high school year
Probably was Mr. Michael. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Just because, yeah, I don't know, he was cool. He was cool.
Person in Fitzgerald that impacted me the most was Miss Smith, to be honest, because she was a nice teacher. Like, she took me places, taught me things, simple stuff.
The teacher who impacted my life most from Fitzgerald was Mr. McGuire and Mr. Heileman, I'll say. They helped me when I needed it the most, and they helped me become a better person.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Cassage, and it's because she pushed me to be a better person in ninth grade and in 10th grade. So I greatly appreciate her for that, and I love her, and she's my favorite teacher.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is probably Miss Lametta. I don't know. She just was her students. I don't know. Her class just like she gonna make sure all her students is on track and stuff. Like I don't know. I just like Miss Lametta. So yeah.
The teachers that impacted my life the most were Miss Lumetta and Miss Smith because they're both very creative and their classes were extremely fun and enjoyable.
Teacher impacted my life was probably Mr. McGuire because he cool. He talked to people. So I'd probably say Mr. McGuire.
The teacher that impacted my life the most was Miss Cost. She helped me in technical writing, helped me pass that, and also helped me do a lot, helped me get my first job also.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Sonnenfeld. Miss Sonnenfeld is, especially Miss Sonnenfeld's leadership class. Miss Sonnenfeld leadership class is a very fun class. You get to see a different side of Miss Sonnenfeld where she's more loose and having more fun, but she's also showing you something important as well.
The teacher who impacted in my life is Mr. Biermann because he made me successful in high school.
The teacher that went back to my life was a teacher, I don't know her name, but I forgot. She was helpful to me.
The teacher who impacted my life the most, well, it wasn't a teacher, but Coach Shakes impacted my life the most. He the reason why I'm going to college now to do a lot of things. But yeah, Shakes was the teacher who impacted my life the most.
The teacher that impacted my high school experience here is Mr. Romaine because he helped me a lot in the auto shop because I'm the only girl. So yeah.
The teacher who impacted my life the most would be Mr. Meyer because he taught us stuff that we will actually use after high school.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Mr. Meyer because he always helped me, and also Mr. Bush because he gave us free time.
The teacher who impacted my life is Miss Lametta because she is the sweetest and she helped me through a lot.
The teacher probably Miss Rubel because she actually was very helpful with my 2 years of having algebra and the other math classes that I had, and yeah, I kind of built the bond with her and jump. Yeah, it's gonna be that.
The teacher that impacted my life the most would be Shakes because he never lied, and he pushed me to get to college because at first I didn't really want to go, but yeah.
The teacher that most affected my life was Miss Lametta because she always taught me to improve on certain things.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Mr. Michael because he's always motivated me and my dreams and goals.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Joanne Shakespeare because he's supportive. He always pushes myself to be the best. He wanted to be the best of me.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Miss Koss because she helped me during baseball and in school.
The teacher who impacted my life most in Fitzgerald is Mr. Biermann because he gave me the will to kind of get better grades and keep moving forward in life.
The teacher who impacted my life was Miss Lametta because she's just a nice person. Bye! Peace.
The teacher that impacted my life in Fitzgerald is Miss Verbal because she's been supportive and always believed in me, and she's one of my favorite teachers since freshman year.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Mulligan because she has helped me get through stuff.
The teacher that affected my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Crotty because she's inspiring and encourages me.
The teacher who impacted me the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Crater. She encouraged me to keep
trying and keeping my grades up no matter what happens.
Probably the most important one to me was my elementary school art teacher. I don't remember her name anymore because it's been so long, but they've inspired me to do art, and now it's like one of the main things I do.
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Miss Crater because she is really nice and supportive and caring.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Mr. Romaine because without his help, I probably wouldn't have passed auto.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald would be Miss Sonnenfeld because she taught me great communication skills and leadership.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Miss Smith because when I took digital media production, I was shy before, but then I took this class and it just brought me out my comfort zone and my creative side that I didn't know I had.
The teacher that impacted me the most would be Ms. Rubel. She's always asked me how I've been, and she's always checked up on me, and she always pushes me to be the best person that I could be.
The two teachers that impacted my life the most was Mr. Michael and Mr. B. Mr. Michael has been a friend of mine since 10th grade. He's always been there for me, and Mr. B has just built my personality, has always strived me to do the best that I can.
The teachers that impacted my life the most were definitely Miss Smith and Mr. Nelson because they're amazing and funny, and I love their classes.
At Fitzgerald, my teacher that impacted me the most was Mr. Brooks. He was the previous choir teacher here, and he influenced my music and me as a person. And I've been with him since 7th grade, so he impacted me a lot.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is probably Miss Mulligan because she's very encouraging.
The teacher who impacted my life here at Fitzgerald would be Miss Smith because I feel like she's the only teacher here who really knows stuff about me and I can be myself in her class.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is Miss Lametta. She's just really kind and cool, and yeah.
I'd say the teacher that impacted my life the most would be Mr. Body because I feel like he was really the only teacher that helped me with my work and stuff when I really needed it.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is, she don't work here anymore, but Miss Sonnenfeld. She helped me come out my shell, and yeah.
The teacher at Fitzgerald that affected my life the most is probably Miss Crotty, because if she wasn't such a good teacher with AP Government, I wouldn't be as interested in law and government as I would be.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School has to be Mr. Nelson, and I would say it's because he pushes me to do my very best. Mr. Nelson is always pushing me artistically, and even though I don't deem myself as a very artistic person, he helped me find that artist in myself, and I thank him for that, for finding that creativity in myself.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Mr. Michael.
The teacher that impacted my life the most was Mr. Meyer. He made me realize my options. I didn't just have to go to college. I could do more.
The teacher that impacted me most was probably Mr. Meyer because he pushed me to be my best, and he got me to a 4.0 GPA.
The teacher who impacted my life most is Miss Smith because she brought me out of my shyness to speak in front of crowds.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Miss Sonnenfeld because she's just the sweetest, most upbeat person, and she's always so kind, and she's so strong and the best ever.
The teacher that impacted my life at most at Fitzgerald was Miss Mulligan because whenever I needed her, she was always there for me.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald the most is Mr. McDonald because he's made me feel comfortable in the classroom, and he's one of the most kindest and encouraging teachers that I've had.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald would be Miss Lametta because she is very inspirational.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Lametta because she was just always there for me. She's been sort of like a guide for me in high school, and I really appreciate the way that she's just led me to be a better person.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Miss Crotty. She was always there for me, pushed me to my limits, always there, when I was at my lowest, and always a good teacher.
The teacher who affected my life at Fitz the most was Miss Van Gorder, because she always made me laugh and pushed me to be my best in class, even though that language hard as heck. So, thanks, Miss V.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School was Mr. McDonald, because before I took his class, I wasn't sure if I was good at math or not, and he helped me become more confident in my skills.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald, what made it better was, I'd say Mr. Griffin, because he helped out a lot.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Miss Smith, because having her broadcasting class and digital media class encouraged me to try new things.
Teacher that impacted my life was Miss Crotty because she's just a great all-around teacher, and yeah, I just love her.
Teacher that impacted my life the most is Miss Rubel.
Probably would be Miss Lametta, because she probably one of the nicest teachers that I met so far, because I only been here for like 8 months probably.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald High School was Ms. Van Gorder and Mr. Michael. If it wasn't for Ms. Van Gorder, I probably wouldn't have been in high school still, or if it wasn't for Mr. Michael, I probably would have not been in senior year.
Teacher who affected my life the most was Miss Tassios, because that's the girl that be to help you,
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Mr. Busatel, as I've been in band since 6th grade, and he was there at Chatterton in 6th grade, so I've had him ever since.
The teacher who impacted my life was Mr. Biermann. When I came to school, he was there for me all my life.
The teacher who impacted my infants is Miss Cardi, because she made me more successful.
Teacher that impacted me the most was Mr. Michael, because he helped me out a lot my first year and some of the classes I had.
The teacher that impacted my life most in Fitzgerald High School is probably Mr. Meyer, because I had him for 3 years in high school, and he motivated me to do my best, and he was very inspiring.
The teacher that impacted my life is Miss Lametta, because she kept on pushing me to see the bigger picture and not to give up when I wanted to.
The most teacher that impacted my life is probably Mr. Biermann. He really helped me a lot, working harder and stuff.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is probably Ms. Tassios. I've met her the first day when I was a freshman, and I had her for 2 years straight. And just the other day, I got to read off the co-sponsor letter to her, and she has always been like a second mom to me, along with Miss Crotty. So, yeah.
Mr. McDonald, because he was always cool, helping me with my work and everything. And that's about it.
Teacher who impacted my life, I feel like it's Mr. Busatel, because I've been with him for almost 7 years, and yeah, pretty much, yeah.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was probably Mr. Romaine, just because of his funny stories and the perspective he gave me on life.
The teacher who impacted me the most was my band teacher, because he's really nice, and he really pushed me to go forward to do other things.
The teacher that impacted my life here was probably Mr. Michael. Even though I've only had him for a semester or 2 semesters, he made a huge impact.
The teacher who impacted my life as a student at Fitzgerald was probably Mr. Michael, because he's funny, he can be mean, but he's a realist. He's cool.
There's too many teachers that impacted my life, but most of them teachers, they helped me through my life, they helped me overcome my, hardships that I had, with my assignments or anything else. So yeah, I say most of the teachers in Fitzgerald High School.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School is Mr. McDonald, as he's given me a bunch of helpful tips when it comes to studying math and all that.
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Miss Mulligan because she is a very nice teacher. She is a very happy, lively, and soulful teacher. She is like a little munchkin, and I really love her dances.
The teacher who impacted my life in Fitz, it's Mr. Biermann because I came here and I didn't speak English, so he helped me out to speak, write, read, and stuff like that.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Miss Lumara because she's just so cheerful and lovely. It's just nice seeing her enjoy her time.
The teacher or staff member that impacted my life the most was, I would say, my sports coaches, because they really inspired me and like guided me in drive. They told me that I need to drive in life and just go get it.
The teacher who impacted my life in Fitzgerald is Miss Lumeta because she taught me that everyone goes to rough patch and it's okay to struggle and keep going.
The teacher that impacted my life the most here at Fitzgerald was probably Miss Mulligan because she's always so nice and supportive.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Mr. Romaine because I feel like he taught me what I need to know for a mechanic.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Mr. Griffin because he's the only teacher that really kept it real with you, not only by school-wise but life-wise as well.
The teacher who impacted my life the most and because is Adam Busatel. He taught me how to read music, taught me how to play music. He gave me good advice on music, and he's just a good character overall.
Favorite teacher was Miss, I can't say her name though, Miss Tasio. Because she helped me with my work sometimes when I needed help, she was there.
The teacher that impacted my life, I want to say Mr. Queen, because he taught me like a lot of history and how to just, speak your mind if you got something to say. Don't be shy. Don't let people like put you down about their opinions and stuff like that.
The teacher that impacted me the most in Fisher High School would be Mr. Nelson because he's always been there and he's really nice teacher.
The teacher who impacted my life the most in Fitzgerald would have to be Miss Sonnenfeld because she made me feel really comfortable and motivated to do my work.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Sonnenfeld, even though she no longer works here, because she helped me get over my fright to speak in public when I took her leadership class. So, yeah.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald High School the most is Miss Mulligan because she's always been there for me since my freshman year, and she just has a very lively personality, and she's just always there for me.
The teacher that had a big impact in my life that helped me throughout the year was Mr. Heilman. He helped me when I was struggling, and he helped me all through my 9th grade all the way to 10th. And yeah.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is, I would say, Mr. Michael. I mean, everybody been great here, but Mr. Michael, he helped me during the quarantine. When I was giving up, he was always there for me.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Miss Kafaya because she was there for me from the beginning.
Teacher who impacted my life most is probably Mr. Michael because of how interesting his class was and how he connected to students.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald High School, probably Miss Crowley, because she was the very helpful one whenever I needed as a newcomer student, and Miss Mulligan, I'd say, because she is the very sweetest, nicest teacher I have ever met.
The teacher that impacted me the most has to be Mr. Romaine. He's funny, strict, but he also got me into the career I wanted, and he's just the best teacher I could have had.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School is probably Mr. Michael because he teaches me a lot of new stuff.
The teacher that impacted me the most was Mr. Woj. He taught me very well. He taught me a lot of health and sciences.
I wouldn't say a teacher impacted my life a lot here, but I would say my favorite teacher is Mr. Nelson because he's supportive.
The teacher who impacted my life in Fitzgerald is Mr. Biermann. His class was very funny and I liked it. It was my favorite class. That's it.
The teacher that affected my life most at Fitzgerald was, I'd say, Miss Lametta and Miss Karate,
because they were good people to talk to, and I needed somebody to talk to, just in general.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was probably Miss Van Gorder, as she has taught me a lot, and I'm very appreciative of her.
The teacher who impacted my life the most in Fitzgerald is Miss Mulligan because she's always there for me and she's always really kind and is there to help.
The teacher that impacted my future life was Miss Karate and Mr. Michael, because I had Miss Karate for 3 of my classes since freshman, from sophomore to senior year, and Mr. Michael is cool, bro. I love you, Mr. Michael.
Teacher that impacted my life the most in Fitzgerald is probably Miss Lametta because she's very nice and supportive and she's very caring. She's always there to listen to us and she always helps us. And that's it.
The staff that impacted my life the most in Fitzgerald is probably Miss Horn because she was very helpful, especially with scheduling and everything.
I have to say it would have to be Mr. Romain, the auto shop teacher, because he's the type of person who would always be real 100% of the time and taught me the value of trying things for myself before asking for help.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is actually a lot of teachers. I don't want to be specific, but a lot of teachers were great here, and they all helped me, even inspired me and helped me throughout my high school career. So Mr. Michael, Ms. Kasach, Ms. McKay, Mr. Holm, there's a lot of people who I'm really thankful and grateful for, but all in all, I loved all the teachers here.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald High School was Mrs. Sonnenfield because she was very funny and motivational and always giving us quotes.
A teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald, not a teacher but a counselor, Miss Felice Horn, because that's my lady right there. She helped me through a lot, so yeah.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School is Mr. McDonald because he has helped me understand math a lot better.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was probably Mr. Meyer because he introduced me to computer science, and that's what I want to go into in the future.
Teachers that impacted my life were Miss Lametta, Miss Karate, and Mr. Smith and Mr. Biermann. And then the one coach that impacted my life the most was probably Shakespeare.
Favorite teacher is Miss Kasaj, just because she was chill during Zoom.
The teacher that impacted my life the most here at Fitzgerald was Ms. Rubel and Mr. Durazio. They influenced me to do better in school and actually do something in their class.
It'll be Mr. Kamik because he was the one who interested me in engineering to begin with.
The teacher impacting my life the most in Fitzgerald is Mr. B because just had him for so long.
The teacher who impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Miss Tassios because she's a caring and loving teacher and she taught me new things in life.
The teacher who impacted my life the most, I want to say Miss Kasaj. I feel like she got me more into math than I was before.
Teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Coach Shakes. He's a perfect father figure, role model, and yeah.
My teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald, it's a lot. Miss Lametta for sure. Shakes not a teacher, but definitely Shakes. Even Miss Greisel, Miss Clore, the principals, really the whole staff. I love the Fitzgerald staff, and I always say that.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Coss. Miss Coss helped me through a lot of things. She always kept positivity in my life, let me learn, and guided me throughout the whole year, guided me to the right direction the whole year.
I'm gonna say Miss Mulligan because she did kind of remind me of my grandma, and my grandma motivated me, and she's just very just positive and all that, and I like this positivity around me, so back to me.
The teacher who impacted my life in Fitzgerald High School is Mr. Biermann. He have motivated me a lot through my whole high school journey, and he still does. He's one of the best. Will always be my favorite.
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Mr. Meyer. He teaches robotics and it enhanced my love of robotics.
The teacher that impacted my life in Fitzgerald is Miss Lumetta. She's just an awesome person. She always motivates us students in the best way ever.
The most teacher that impacted my life is all the teachers. They helped me out when I needed help.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is, I'd say, Miss Mulligan, Mr. Griffin, and my basketball coach, Shakespeare.
A teacher who impacted my life in Fitzgerald High School would be Mr. Michael, because he's friendly and that way he teaches is so fun and easy.
There are a lot of teachers that inspire me the most. Miss Crotty, Mr. Nelson, and Miss Lametta inspired me the most. So.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald was Miss Mulligan because she was always have a good heart and was kind-spirited.
The teacher that impacted my life a lot is Mr. Michael. He has helped me through most of the stuff that I needed, motivated me, and yeah, he just impacted me a lot.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald, I would have to say Miss Cafanya, because she always there when I need her.
The teacher who impacted my life is Miss Beauregard, because she helped me how to do pre-algebra, math stuff.
Teacher from Fitzgerald High School who impacted the most was Miss Crotty. She was the one who gave me more support when I was sophomore.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is probably Miss Lametta because she's very she teaches you great stuff. She motivates you to get your work done, to do your career, do whatever you feel is good for your life. She's just a very good teacher. I love her.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Miss Mulligan because she helped me a lot through my difficult times. And yeah.
The teacher who impacted my life most in this high school was Mr. Biermann, because he helped me a lot with my English when I came here, and he was always for me.
The teacher that impacted my life most was Miss Lametta because she's so optimistic and kind.
The teacher who impacted my life the most was Miss McDonald. Because she brought out things in myself that I didn't know I had, seen through the rough edges, and pushed me to be the best student I could be, for sure.
Teacher that impacted my life most at Fitzgerald was probably Miss Lametta. She's pretty great.
Teachers that impacted my life was Durazio. He gone now. He impacted my life because he motivated me to work out. And during quarantine, that's what I did while we was at home because we didn't have anything to do when we were stuck in the house. And another teacher, probably got to be Miss Koss, because she taught me how to speak properly or have proper speech when it comes to professions.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School would be Mr. Wayne because he motivated me to keep going during COVID.
The teacher that impacted me the most during my time at Fitzgerald High School was Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Michael. They're just cool teachers. Oh, one of them was a staff member.
My favorite teacher at Fitzgerald is Mr. Michael.
I would say Miss Lametta because she's always there for me. She's the one person I always have someone to talk to.
The teacher who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald High School is probably McGuire because he's a really cool guy.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is Mr. Meyer because I really like coding and all that stuff that he teaches.
The teacher that impacted my life the most would be probably Mr. Biermann because he helped me out when I first started in high school.
Teacher that probably impacted my life most was probably Miss Smith because, I don't know, I had a class so many times, multiple classes. It was really fun, and just I really had her most of the time.
And my favorite teacher at Fitzgerald is Miss Tassios because she makes the class always fun.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Biermann.
he teach me English. When I come first time here, I don't know how to speak in English, so he teach me about the English. So right now I can speak in English.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is Mr. Michael. He helped me through a lot when I got here. He really helped me get caught up in my work and was keeping me on the right track to get through high school.
The teacher that impacted my life in Fitzgerald is probably Brian Michael and Miss Lametta, because I feel like I can be open with them, talk to them about anything.
The teacher that helped me most was Miss Michael.
The teacher that impacted me the most was Miss Tassios, because that's the only teacher I really had that teaches me Spanish.
The teacher who impacted my life the most is Miss Lametta, because she gave me a passing grade.
The teacher that impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald is Miss Smith. It's Miss Smith because she's really just an overall good person. I really like her class, and she just taught me a lot of different things.
The teachers who impacted my life the most at Fitzgerald are Mr. Kamik, Miss Tassios, Miss Smith, and Miss Lumetta. They all helped me in different ways at different situations, and I really appreciate them all.
My favorite teacher would probably be Mr. Michael. He's the funniest teacher here, in my opinion. And he was always there for most of the students here, I'd say. And he's always someone you can go and talk to.
The teacher that impacted my life the most is Mr. Griffin, because he taught me how to avoid student debt.
The teacher that impacted my life most at Fitzgerald was Mr. Meyer, because he teaches the best classes and he's taught me the most out of all the teachers.
The teacher that impacted my life at Fitzgerald is Mr. H, my baseball coach. Told me to join college and possibly play for a college team.
Teacher that impacted my life the most is Miss Lametta. I think she's super cool, and she's most really understanding. When you tell her a situation, she'll understand you and be there for you. So yeah, that's it.
I love the teachers impacted my life because they motivated me.